You mentioned they were going to read something from Sheikh Ahmed al-Najmi that would bring the affair home, because something that you'll find every year is some of the same debates or arguments as to whether or not we can rely upon the siding from this country or that country. Shouldn't we have our own siding, and this, that, and the third? It's an argument that we have every year, and we keep presenting the same information every year, and inshallah we'll keep presenting it as long as the information is needed. But Sheikh Ahmed al-Najmi, he comments upon this affair and mentioned that it's a long-standing, it's an old matter in which there was a difference of opinion regarding. And so, just to summarize that which the Sheikh has mentioned regarding that topic, he said, وَالَّذِي يَظْهَرُ لِي فِي هَذِهِ الْمَسْأَلَةِ وَفِي هَذَا الزَّمَنِ الَّذِي قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ وَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ فِيهِ وَاتَّضَحَ وُضُوحًا لَا مَزِيدَ عَلَيْهِ. That which is clear to me in this issue, and this time in which we live, this time frame in which we live, the affair has become crystal clear, such that there is no further speech needed regarding it, is that the buldan, the various lands and provinces, they are variant in terms of how and when they are going to cite the hilal. Every land is different. He says, وَعَلَى هَذَا فَإِنَّهُ لَوْ رُؤِيَ الْهِلَالِ فِي مَشْرِقِ الْأَرْضِ. So due to this, if the hilal is sighted in the eastern portions of the earth, نعم لَزِمَ مَنْ بَعْدَهُ مِنْ بَابْ أَوْلَى, then that sighting is made binding upon everyone who comes after them, even more so. Right? So that sighting that is established in the eastern parts of the earth, if there is a sighting, that sighting, it makes the fast binding upon everyone who comes after them. He says, for example, لو رؤي الهلال في Pakistan, if the hilal is sighted in Pakistan, for example, then all of the lands in which the sun will set after Pakistan, then they can accept Pakistan's sighting, right? Because they are to the west of Pakistan. Now, and the sun will set after the setting of the sun in Pakistan, and so on and so forth. He says, so therefore, لازم من بعد هذه الدولة من الدول الأخرى التي يأتي وقت مغيب الشمس فيها بعد Pakistan. So therefore, the Sheikh, he says, then that sighting is made binding upon the lands that come after that land, meaning in the direction of the west, because of those lands in which the sun, it will set after that in which it's set in Pakistan, then it becomes binding upon all of them to observe their fast. Because since the sun, it sets in Pakistan, for example, before it was set in those lands, then this is how the affair is applied. وَكَذَلِكَ لَوْ وُجِدَتْ الرُّؤْيَا فِي السَّعُودِيَّةِ مَثَلًا. Similarly, if there's a sighting established in Saudi, in Saudi Arabia, he says, then fasting will likewise become obligatory upon the lands that come after Saudi Arabia. But it would not be obligatory upon the lands in which the sun set before Saudi Arabia to observe Saudi's sighting. You see what I mean? Because the sun already set with them, they already either had a sighting or they didn't have a sighting. If they didn't have a sighting in their land that in which the sun set before Saudi, then based upon the narration we took last night, what are they going to do? They're going to observe Sha'ban as being 30 days. So the ruling is already set for them. But now Saudi is looking to see if they have a sighting. Maybe the sky is clear in Saudi. It wasn't clear in Pakistan. So therefore, in Saudi, if there's a sighting, then that sighting, it will be likewise established for everyone who comes after Saudi Arabia. So therefore, if there's a sighting in Saudi, as we said, for example, فَلَزِمَ السُّودَانِ وَمَصْرِ وَمَنْ بَعْدَهُ مِنَ الدُّوَلِ الْإِفْرِقِيَّةِ, then likewise that sighting is applicable for Sudan and Egypt and all of the other lands that are in Africa or Europe, or the lands in which the sun set therein after it's set in Saudi Arabia. وَلَا يَلْزَمْ مِنْ قَبْلَهَا كَبَاكِسْتَانِ وَأَفْغَانِسْتَانِ وَالْعِرَاقِ وَمَا أَشْبَهَ ذَلِكَ. And it will not be binding upon the lands in which the sun set before Saudi Arabia, such as Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and whatever resembles that. لأنه قد علم الآن بأن ما بعد كل بلد أي ما كان بعدها إلى جهة المغرب. He said because it has been clear, it has become clear in what we know now in this day and time, is that all of those lands, meaning the lands in which the sun set after that of, or the lands towards the east of a particular land, فإن الغروب يكون فيه بعد البلد الذي قبله. Then the sun will set in those lands after it had already been set in the lands which come before it from the direction of the east. وهذا أمر أصبح معروفا. It is an affair which has become well known amongst the people. At one time, perhaps it wasn't known. It wasn't known, and you can only know what's within the scope of your particular perception or capabilities. But now it's become clear. We all know this reality, and it's something that is witnessed. He says, وَهَذَا هُوَ الْقَوْلُ الْفَصْلُ فِي هَذِهِ الْمَسْأَلَةِ. And this is the decisive word as it relates to this issue. It is clear, it is easy to accept, it's easy to understand. Now, so therefore we can, in these lands, especially in these lands wherein we don't have these types of committees that are government sanctioned committees to go out and cite the Hilal and so on and so forth. So we can. There's no harm in a person relying upon the citing of the lands that came before our land in terms of the setting of the sun. You can accept their citing. Now, that's the speech as we mentioned of Sheikh Ahmed al-Najmi in this issue. We'll move on.